there is a gap appearing in our bloodlines. Now, at least in mine, but like I think you can relate to this. What were your grandparents doing? Mine were working with wood quite a lot, and a couple of times a year they would plant some vegetables. Think about what your grandparents were doing. Now, think about what your great great grandparents were doing. My great great grandparents, my great grandparents, sorry, were working with wood, planting vegetables quite regularly in quite large amounts, and they had pigs where they eat their meat from, and they got goats and dogs to play with. Now, that's only like our recent generations. Now think back to what your great great grandparents would be doing if they would be still alive, right? They probably would be doing quite something similar, just even more like primalistic, right? So probably they would have a bigger like farm than my grandparents did, and more animals and more vegetables and even more wood to make stuff with, and even more kids. Think about what I think it best to describe your bloodline kind or your family were doing before this weird internet age was getting enrolled in our existence, right? Before like these games and these very locked up places were invented, right? Think what they were doing, right? And now it's your choice, actually. Do you wanna? Because the gap is with probably your parents' generation and our generation, or even your grandparents, maybe. There has been a gap in not further giving that like trait. Let's say in my family, it might have been farming, giving that trait true to the next generation. There has been a little gap. So let's say my grandpa, he did a little bit of wood and he planted some vegetables from time to time. Not a lot as I am doing right now, but like a couple. From time to time, once a year or so, he planted a huge basket of, let's say, one particular vegetable or a couple of them. Get something, right? But mainly wood. The meat part was already cut out in that generation. But now, my parents' generation and mine, that the last two have kind of been cut out. My grandpa still teaches me stuff from wood and stuff, but only recently, only from the point that me being on self-improvement has become more and more clear. Only recently have I been allowed myself to actually enjoy the things of woodcraft that my family has been doing for like ages. And only recently indeed have I been planting vegetables, and only recently have I learned that my grandparents, my great grandparents were doing the same. Think about that. Think about what they were doing. Now it's your choice. Do you wanna go further down the line that like your parents and you were taught in? Let's say go to like a job. Let's say a doctor for like ages and ages and ages and work your butt off there, which you might want to do. I don't think that it's in our generation that's quite quite good actually. But you can also go down further go down what your family has already been doing in your bloodline and make that further true. Or you could do that and implement a lot of these self-improvement things like meditation, like self-improvement free like food, like no plastics and that, and, like physical exercise a lot and all of that stuff. Or you can completely cut it out because like your bloodline wasn't the best. Maybe it was like an IT bloodline and or like a IT-ish bloodline, like primal forms of it, and you don't want to have the same kind of mindset as them. You might want to reset from zero if you prefer. It's your choice to choose. Actually, that's the thing with it. It's your choice. What do you want to do? Continue the path that you've been taught. Continue your bloodline's path. Continue your bloodline's path with extra self-improvement habits, or completely beginning from scratch. It's your choice. And I would actually recommend choosing pretty soon. And from the point you made this choice, I'm thanking you for doing that, and from freeing, or like from helping this world a bit more. And with that, I say goodbye.